Hey everyone, it's Friday Morning Movie Reviews. I'm Nathan CK.
I'm Louis Angel.
Yes, and we're going to be reviewing the new Blade Runner 2049. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve, the cinematographer, one of the best cinematographers out there right now. Roger Deakins. It stars Harrison Ford, Ryan Gosling,
Jared Leto,
Dave Bautista,
Dave Bautista,
Anna
Robin Wright,
Anna de Armas, right? And who else is she in? She's in War Dogs.
She looks familiar, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's in War Dogs for a little bit. Yeah.
She was Miles Teller's.
Right. She's good.
She's great.
I want to see her in more stuff. She was really good in this.
Me too.
I didn't see the first one, so I was.
You didn't.
I wouldn't say I was lost. The first 30, 40 minutes, actually basically the first hour, I was trying to piece together on what is happening, why are things happening, Ryan Gosling and what he's trying to figure out. And then it gives you a little intro if you haven't seen the first one. In the first minute, there's a little overview of that there are replicants.
Yeah, it gives you some text.
Right.
It's not like previously on Blade Runner.
Right. It goes kind of fast, so you have to. There's a lot of it, so you have to read kind of fast. But so after that, it's a long movie, guys. It's very long, and I want to see this movie again for sure. The first time through, I will say that it felt 3 hours, but it wasn't. It wasn't the 3 hours of Lord of the Rings with 2 hours of walking with the hobbits. It wasn't like that 3 hours. It wasn't crazy long, but stuff was happening, and you were very interested in what was going to happen and what Ryan Gosling's character, being a Blade Runner, what he will figure out, and
It's also mysterious.
Right, it is. And
we're dancing around the plot because the plot, it's a spoiler.
It is.
We don't want to tell you. But about the length, you're right, because Lord of the Rings, this movie is just as long as The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And for me, The Dark Knight Rises plays like that,
Right.
Where in this movie, you're right, I felt like I was in there for 3 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've seen it twice now. Obviously, second time it played a little faster, but the length is just, it's daunting for a lot of moviegoers.
Wow. Did you feel like you connected more dots the second time through? Was it helpful?
Oh, of course.
More? Okay, then, yeah. We should do that, guys. Definitely see it a second time.
Speaking of Rises, there is a couple elements from that movie that kind of play into this movie. And this movie felt really Nolan-y, right? From the look, from the tone, from Hans Zimmer's music.
Yeah. Hans Zimmer's music really makes this mysterious.
He crushed it with the music.
He did.
Some of the best sound design and the music I've ever heard in a movie.
Yeah.
So stay with me here, right?
Okay.
So this movie, to me, it's that little bit of Dark Knight Rises mixed with the original Blade Runner with a lot of drive. I felt so much drive in here. The more you think about it, the more it makes sense, and we might do a spoiler, I don't know, video.
Okay.
But just those three tones, it really meshed together as to what this movie is.
Expound a little bit more on the Dark Knight Rises, how that plays. I just want to know which direction,
because it's a spoiler.
Oh, dude. Oh.
But the more you think about it, the more you'll get it, I think.
Okay.
Denis Villeneuve, I think he's right now maybe top 5, maybe even top 3 best directors working today.
Yeah, I mean, each time he has something out, it's kind of amazing. Prisoners was groundbreaking in the story and what it showed us. And then Cesario, was just one of the best, I think, drug movies.
It was so impactful, and it was so bare knuckle.
And all these plots.
And that's my least favorite movie of his, Sicario. And it's still a really good movie.
It is a really good movie. But, like, all these movies they're very, like, 3-tiered, kind of. You go through this first phase of the plot, then there's this next phase, and then there's, like, the final climax that's just like, oh, I didn't even see that coming. And I think that's the dynamic of the plot, but also with the cinematography is always beautiful. The cast is great. Even his last movie, what was that? Oh man, Arrival. Yeah, that it was just beautifully done. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's just mind blowing. And then to do an action movie in this, it's like he's doing. How about if he does Batman? Like, dude, I want to see that.
I would love to see not only Batman, whatever this guy does next.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially Batman.
And he's going through all these different, it's basically like Nolan. Nolan did Prestige, and then just all these other movies. And then he did Batman, just like Denny is doing Blade Runner, and
doing Blade Runner.
And it's just this...
Man,
once you know how to make these other movies very kind of taking in your mind, just like it has to be something more, there has to be this mystery, there has to be this other incentive for these characters that you can really connect with. Then you go on to this action movie, you go into the series. Who knows? There could be another one after this in the next, 35 years.
This guy's brilliant. He's truly a visionary, isn't he?
Yeah. That's a great word to use.
And those are big words, but I can't think of a better one after watching this movie twice. It's just so... The scope of it is so huge, and even if you've seen Blade Runner, you've never seen a movie like this before. And I enjoyed returning to the world of it. I thought the acting was good. I thought even the smaller character, like the Dave Bautistas or like the Robin Wright, like they have less to do, but they still give you so much, right?
Yeah, and I mean with Dave Bautista's character, and we could expound on this possibly in spoilers, but he's in there a very short time. After what happens to him, you still go back to that character. It's not like he's gone forever now. Like, you don't know where he is. You go back to him. There's things that happen after that you say, oh, okay, now that ties back to that. What he was doing, okay, now that makes sense. And that ties into the main character. So all this is interconnected.
And going back is something you almost have to do with this movie, because you'll appreciate it so much more.
Yeah.
And things fit into place so much better now that you have the bigger picture. And we don't want to talk about the plot, but the story, it's Blade Runner. It's what makes a person a person. Is it a soul? Can machines have that? And I love the conversation and the themes and the ideas that this movie's bringing up, because I think it's really fascinating.
Yeah. And so even, it's a little bit like Her, too.
It is. Oh, you're right.
With the AI and the little love interest, but then also with the AI really talking sense into Ryan Gosling's character, saying
and then even afterwards, you don't know how much of that is true. Almost, you don't know.
Right.
And that's another thing we're probably going to touch on in spoilers. Harrison Ford, I think he has one scene in here, right, where it plays a lot to me like in The Dark Knight between Batman and the Joker.
Yeah.
Where he's sitting across from someone, and it's so tense, and Harrison Harrison Ford does so little. It's so subtle what he's doing in the scene. I think it's the best thing he's ever done, acting-wise.
Yeah. And it's like...
And it's just... Yeah.
It's like Harrison's Ford character is kind of in denial, you know, a little bit. And he's run down-ish. He doesn't want to do it anymore, kind of. You know, he doesn't know who Ryan Gosling's character is. And then it's like this slow warm-up to Ryan Gosling's character, and it takes some time to establish.
It takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of... I'll be honest, as an audience member, it takes you a lot to just keep following through with it. Because there's so much in here that works, and I wouldn't say there's anything bad in here. I don't think they needed as much atmospheric things as they did.
Yeah.
Maybe they could cut out this character doing that and just tell us they did it later just to save some time.
Right.
Because I did feel the length. I felt that you can cut these things out. They're not that essential to the plot. We don't need to see this person breaking into that person's apartment. We don't.
True.
Because we know that character is resourceful enough to do that. We don't need to see it.
Right.
So that 2 minutes, it saved you. Overall, I did feel...
You feel the length.
After I watched this movie, yeah, I felt the length, but I also felt like I watched something big, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, do you want to rate this thing?
Yeah. Oh, man. I was thinking about
I'll go first.
Okay.
I really hope that this thing gets a lot of technical Oscars. A lot of people have been comparing it to Mad Max. I don't know about that.
It's close.
I don't know if this will be in my top 10 of the year.
Okay.
I don't know if this will be a Best Picture nominee, but it could be very deserving of that. I didn't love the movie. My score, it actually went up after the second time watching it. Yeah, I'll buy it on Blu-ray for sure. I don't know that I need to see it in theaters again.
Right.
I'm going to give Blade Runner 2049 a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. I think I'm ready to go 4.1 out of 5.
Okay.
And, you know, these are great scores. You do feel the length. That's why it's a little hesitant. But I think seeing it the second time, definitely seeing the first one, I think that score definitely represents this movie well.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You know, and yeah, you have to do a lot of thinking, guys. You have to don't forget about anything that's happened in this movie, because it all kind of winds in together, and I think that's you have to really keep an eye on certain things, and that's why they're so good.
That's not impossible to do either. It's not possible to, like, I took my 15-year-old sister to see it with me, right, the second time.
Uh-huh.
She's never seen Blade Runner. I didn't tell her this movie was 3 hours long. I did tell her you gotta think a lot. And you know what? She walked out of that movie saying, I really liked it.
See? Yeah. So, I mean, it's
not an impossible task.
Yeah, it's not an impossible task, guys. All right? So, if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. Tell us what you think. And our scores, 4, 4.1, very great scores, guys. All right? Definitely support this movie and tell us what you think. All right.